Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Monday Night Raw. We are hot off the heels of Wrestlemania. A lot happened at Wrestlemania, but the biggest thing to happen is we have two new general managers. We have big contracts changes that have gone on. No more part-timer contracts. Unfortunately, that means Brock Lesnar is no longer signed to WWE. Universal Championship is now vacated, and we are having our draft, and we're going to start off real fast. The first draft for Monday Night Raw. Who's it going to be? It's the phenomenal AJ Styles, no longer on Smackdown. That means he's no longer the WWE Champion. WWE Championship has been vacated, and let's see who SmackDown's going to fire back with. The big dog Roman Reigns, coming off of his loss at WrestleMania to Brock Lesnar. He's going to want to stake his claim in the blue brand for sure. We're going to see who's the next signing for the Raw. It's Ronda Rousey, her debut performance at WrestleMania when she teamed up with Kurt Angle was incredible. We're going to see what she has to do on the red brand. And Finn Balor has been signed to SmackDown. We are already starting things off fast here, and we have another Raw signing. Who we're going to see? Who's been chosen by Raw? The new Intercontinental Champion, Seth Rollins. And it seems we're going to have our Intercontinental Champion in action here tonight. One thing that's important to note is that we're going to have that, firstly, these draft orders, this draft that's being shown to you guys today is not in the order in which our surprise, I guess, secretive general managers are. We don't know the order in which they drafted, but this is just the order in which the superstars are being presented to us. So we're gonna see what type of brands we're gonna have, Raw versus SmackDown, what we have in store for us here. But we have the architect Seth Rollins
The following contest is scheduled for one fall.
It's still on the red brand.
Making his way to the ring from Davenport, Iowa, weighing in at 217 pounds, the Intercontinental Champion, Seth Rollins.
Seth Rollins obviously winning that Intercontinental Championship in that match that kind of, people say it stole the show last night at WrestleMania, where he took on Finn Balor and The Miz and won The Miz's Intercontinental Championship. That means the Intercontinental Championship is always going to stay on Raw, but if Seth Rollins had been drafted to SmackDown, that championship wasn't going to go with him. As you've seen, AJ Styles is no longer the WWE Champion. Never mind the fact that he actually won last night against Shinsuke Nakamura with a surprising end to that match, with Shinsuke going for the low blow there. But we're going to see, before we hop into the match Seth Rollins is going to be in, we're going to see who has been drafted to SmackDown. Charlotte Flair, the SmackDown Women's Champion, just defeated Asuka, ended the streak at WrestleMania. She's still SmackDown Women's Champion, and she's staying on SmackDown. Who's Raw? Who's coming to Raw? Bobby Roode. That's an interesting pick, and it seems we're going to have the glorious one in action here tonight against Seth Rollins. Definitely looking forward to seeing what Bobby Roode, the former United States Champion, is able to bring to the table on the red brand. He had moderate success on SmackDown, great success on NXT.
Toronto, Ontario, Canada, weighing in at 235 pounds, Bobby Roode.
Great success on NXT, and we'll see if he manages to get some success here on Raw. Obviously a win against the Intercontinental Champion and someone that is one of the hottest superstars in sports entertainment today, Seth Rollins. Will definitely give him some early momentum going into his career here on Monday Night Raw, and here it comes. I'm looking forward to seeing that on Raw, and hearing that theme song, definitely a great procurement for Monday Night Raw. Tonight we're going to see who our Raw general manager is. We don't know. We just know that there's two new general managers, one for Raw, one for SmackDown. Kurt Angle has decided to take a leave of absence since his match with Ronda Rousey against Triple H and Stephanie McMahon. Perhaps he was nudged into that bit of a leave of absence by the boss after winning that match. And we see that Ronda Rousey is also on Monday Night Raw. So very exciting to see what the baddest woman on the planet will bring to the red brand. But first off, we're going to see what these two great superstars are able to bring to us today as we have our draft episode of Monday Night Raw. Got these men sizing themselves up. Oh, Bobby Roode showing us exactly what he's about. Seth Rollins just eyeing him up and down. Oh, Seth telling everyone to burn it down. This is going to be a great mesh of styles here. Nice collar elbow tie up to start the match. Seth gets him into an early headlock. Seth really showing a bit of advantage in this early game going to this match. But Bobby Roode quickly bringing it back, and a big elbow forearm strike to the back of the head. And Seth able to shift the momentum. With a nice leapfrog there and a big drop kick by the Architect. There's Seth Rollins. He is hyped. First outing we've seen of Seth as Intercontinental Champion since winning it from The Miz at WrestleMania. Big strikes going on into this match. And a nice suplex. Oh, no, Bobby Roode able to reverse it. Bobby Roode, a great performer, great wrestler in his own right. As I previously said, ex-United States champion, former NXT World Champion. And definitely a win over the Intercontinental Champion Raw put him in good stead. And I'm sure that our new Raw General Manager is watching intently to see what he thinks of the two members of his roster that he or she picked out. Look at this, Bobby Roode just mocking Seth Rollins a little bit there. Really, Bobby Roode has had control for a lot of portion of this match. That suplex reversal was definitely a bit of a turning point there, and another big suplex by Bobby Roode. Bobby Roode is great wrestler with excellent technique. And speaking of technique, Seth Rollins with a nice arm drag reversal and a nice DDT. Sort of shades of the previous Intercontinental Champion, The Miz, there with that DDT. Seth maybe playing a bit to the crowd a bit too much as Bobby Roode takes the opportunity to try go for another suplex, but went to the wall too many times as Seth with a nice face slam there, bit of a face buster. Reverse STO there by the Architect Seth Rollins. What's Seth got planned now? Big Irish whip into the corner and a nice running forearm. Seth up to the top rope. What's the Architect got planned here? Urging Bobby Roode to get to his feet and a meteor from the top rope. Interesting offense here by Seth Rollins going for the first cover of the match. One. Kick out at one. Maybe a kick out at two. The refs seem to struggle to find their place there. Possibly the general manager picked up some new referees too. Who knows? We've just been told though that the general managers are bringing a lot of change to Raw and to SmackDown. So it's going to be awesome to see. Don't forget that the draft will continue onto SmackDown until all of the current roster has been drafted. And we have a nice little Boston Crab, but a bit too close to the ropes there. Unlike a veteran like Bobby Roode to make a bit of a rookie error there, go for a submission so close to the bottom rope. And here he goes. Here he's corrected it. Going for a nice. Oh, look at the technique in that crossface. Really wrenching at the neck of the Intercontinental Champion. Seth has nowhere to go here. It looks like he's trying to power out of it. Nice. Use Bobby's own momentum against him, and a big running knee by Seth Rollins. Big running knee there. Seth going for a strike there to Bobby Roode. Bobby Roode able to reverse it. Bobby Roode going for a strike of his own. Seth reverses it too. What's Seth got planned? Oh, we've seen this before. Seth going for it. And we got the momentum. Buckle bomb. What's Seth got planned? Up to the top rope. Frog splash. That's gotta be it. That has gotta be it. 1, 2. That's gotta be. Oh no, and a kick out at 2. Bobby Roode really showing his mettle here tonight. Seth Rollins indicating to the crowd what time it is. Who's in control? It is him, the Intercontinental Champion. Remember seeing that frog splash from the top rope over in WrestleMania onto the Miz. Incredible, absolutely incredible. Bobby Roode trying to fight back, trying to gain some momentum, and a nice backbreaker there by the Glorious One. Bobby Roode really trying to get back into this match here. Nice Irish whip to the corner. Bobby Roode really trying to get some momentum here. Gets set up to the top turnbuckle here. Maybe going for a superplex or something. What's Bobby Roode got planned? Trying to catch his breath a little bit. And Seth able to reverse it. Maybe spent too long catching his breath. Oh no, we've seen this. What's Seth go for? The stomp! The stomp to Bobby Roode. That has got to be it. Look at the force. Boom! Night, Glorious One. That has got to be it. 1, 2, 3. That is why he is our Intercontinental Champion. Seth Rollins showing exactly what he's made of here tonight. Seth Rollins picking up a nice victory here. Unfortunate for Bobby Roode, but in this matchup, it didn't seem that Bobby Roode looked at all weak. If anything, he looked very strong, able to go toe-to-toe with the Intercontinental Champion. Look at this great sign of respect there from two great performers. And we get some more draft time now. SmackDown now. Who's SmackDown picking up? The lunatic French Dean Ambrose. We've heard that his injuries, he's healing from his injuries and it's almost fully recovered, but he has been signed to SmackDown. And Sasha Banks has been signed to Raw, the legit boss, staying on Raw. Who's SmackDown picking up now? Speaking of Sasha Banks, we have her on and off again friend Bayley signed to SmackDown. Definitely SmackDown Women's Division looking strong. Charlotte Flair and Bayley. And Rusev now signed to Raw. That's a big change. That's an exciting change for Raw, that's for sure. Rusev Day every Monday night. And The Miz, speaking of the former Intercontinental Champion, The Miz is on SmackDown. That means he's not going to get his Intercontinental Championship rematch, but that's what happens. And speaking of The Miz, we have a huge signee to Raw. The returning Daniel Bryan returned to action at WrestleMania and returned to action here on Monday Night Raw. The leader of the Yes Movement. The Yes Movement is in full swing here on Monday Night Raw. Daniel Bryan definitely looking to make a statement, and with that Universal Championship vacated since Brock Lesnar's contract has not been renewed, you can be certain that Daniel Bryan definitely has his eyes on the big red belt. He had an excellent performance last night at WrestleMania as him and Shane McMahon were able to come through and defeat Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. The repercussions of that match, unfortunately, with all these big changes that have happened with management, a lot of the repercussions or the consequences following WrestleMania could possibly be overshadowed. If the SmackDown general manager or the Raw general manager decides to sign either Kevin Owens or Sami Zayn, then those are new contracts, and the fallout from WrestleMania is kind of null and void. But we have another SmackDown signee here. Speaking of SmackDown, who's it going to be? Jeff Hardy. I've heard too that Jeff Hardy is fully recovered from his injuries and he's going to the blue brand. And Raw gets the lone wolf Baron Corbin. And speaking of the lone wolf, he's got a big hurdle to climb in Daniel Bryan. But arguably Daniel Bryan is a big hurdle to climb himself against Baron Corbin, former Mr. Money in the Bank, former United States champion. Definitely an impressive young performer looking to make a statement. How big of a statement can you make Imagine defeating Daniel Bryan on Daniel Bryan's return to Monday Night Raw.
And his opponent from Kansas City, weighing in at 275 pounds, Baron Corbin.
That will definitely make a big impact in Baron Corbin's career. Baron Corbin can definitely see himself as a main event contender if he's able to defeat the leader of the Yes Movement, Daniel Bryan. But that's going to be easier said than done. As imposing, as tall, as powerful, and quick as Baron Corbin is, he's not Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan's name is legendary, and he's going to show us tonight exactly why. Baron Corbin versus Daniel Bryan tonight on Monday Night Raw, the first night of our WWE Draft. Has already been an awesome night so far. And a massive clothesline to start the match. Baron Corbin really looking at this height advantage, and a big suplex there by Baron Corbin. Baron Corbin already showing his strength, and a massive heel there to the much smaller Daniel Bryan. What's Baron Corbin got planned now? Baron Corbin got Daniel Bryan up for a powerbomb. Look at the strength of Baron Corbin, but look at the resolve, the resiliency of Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan with a great discus forearm there. Maybe playing to the crowd a bit too much, as Daniel Bryan, able to bring Baron Corbin down to size, but Baron Corbin able to work his way out of that. And a rolling suplex there into the big right punch. 1, 2. Oh, a kick out of 2. I think that punch rocked Daniel Bryan there. It's an early 2 count. And Baron Corbin is not letting up, wailing on him with those strikes. A former boxer is Baron Corbin. It's really showing that here with those massive strikes. But Daniel Bryan trying to fire himself up. Daniel Bryan firing himself up with Daniel Bryan, and a big shoulder tackle, sending Baron Corbin flying to the outside. Daniel Bryan doing what he does best, feeding off the WWE Universe. Baron Corbin showing his displeasure for the leader of the Yes Movement, Daniel Bryan. These two men looking to square up again, but unfortunately Baron Corbin just a bit too strong. And now we've got Baron Corbin just wrenching at the neck of Daniel Bryan. Wrenching away at the neck of Daniel Bryan. Just holding him there. Really applying all that pressure from his larger frame. And Daniel Bryan able to fight back a bit there. Right after right. And look at this. Vintage Daniel Bryan running drop kicks to the corner. This is what we love to see. Classic Daniel Bryan building up a head of steam. Look at him go. Look at Daniel Bryan getting his wind back. Big German suplex onto the neck of Baron Corbin. Things are not looking good for Baron Corbin. And look at this. Look at this. Daniel Bryan working on the arm there. Not exactly a yes hook there. Looks a bit of an arm bar. Shades of Becky Lynch there with a disarm hook. Really applying so much pressure on Baron Corbin. That's the type of move that you don't use to submit your opponent, but rather to inflict damage. You can see that right arm that was affected. Not able to deliver the strikes with as much force. And look at Daniel Bryan just focusing on the arm now of Baron Corbin. And now taking out the big man with the dragon screw. Bam! Massive drop to the leg. And unfortunately Baron Corbin able to reverse that, getting a nice little arm drag. Unfortunate for Daniel Bryan. Bam! Wow! Look at the way that turnbuckle just shook off the back of the neck. Of course, you know Daniel Bryan has a history of concussions. That can't be good for Daniel Bryan. And another massive strike, really focusing on the weak head, and just strike after strike after strike. This is not looking good for Daniel Bryan. At what point now does Daniel Bryan throw in the towel? You gotta think about his career here. He's only just come back. And Baron Corbin wailing away. And a massive clothesline by the Lone Wolf. Strike after strike. Baron Corbin, such a dominant presence. Really showing why he is a contender here on Raw. 1, 2. Oh, Daniel Bryan able to get the foot up. I was going to say, that looked like night for Daniel Bryan. With that huge big boot to the head. The already targeted head of Daniel Bryan. And now targeting the shin. Baron Corbin really picking apart Daniel Bryan here. That's a forearm strike. What's he got planned now? Oh, this is enough now. Look at this. Daniel Bryan just instinctively able to roll out of the ring, and Baron Corbin showing off. Daniel Bryan is out on his feet. Look at him. Almost glassy-eyed, but really trying to fight back into this. And another massive suplex power slam there. And a big elbow drop by the massive Lone Wolf. Another elbow drop. This has got to be it. Just end this match now. 1, 2. How is Daniel Bryan kicking out? How is he still conscious? How is he still conscious? It's beyond me. And now a spine buster there by Baron Corbin. Really winding up that strike, looking to maybe go for another strike. But Daniel Bryan able to get some momentum back. What's Daniel Bryan got planned? Daniel Bryan out of nowhere. Baron Corbin was getting too confident in himself. Baron Corbin was getting too confident. He's reaching for that bottom rope. Is he going to tap? Is he going to tap? He's reaching for that bottom. You can see him trying to crawl. You can see him trying to crawl. Is this going to be it? Wrenching back, and that is it. Daniel Bryan able to bring it back. I don't know how he did it. I don't know how he did it. So many strikes to the head. But somehow Daniel Bryan able to fight back. Somehow Daniel Bryan able to fight back. And the drafts don't stop here, ladies and gentlemen. We have another Raw draft pick. Nia Jax recently won the Raw Women's Championship from Alexa Bliss. Seems Nia Jax staying the Raw Women's Champion. And speaking of Alexa Bliss, Little Miss Bliss, former Raw Women's Champion, definitely going to want to make a name for herself on the brand she originally made a name for herself on, Smackdown Live. And Raw, now the women's divisions are really heating up. Raw taking Absolution, Paige, Sonya Deville, and Mandy Rose. Of course, Sonya and Mandy, great rising stars here in WWE. Speaking of rising stars as well, former NXT superstars Liv Morgan, Sarah Logan, and Ruby Riott, the Riott Squad, are on SmackDown. And it's going to be a ravishing Lana Day on Monday night and Monday nights. We've got Rusev Day and Lana Day on Monday nights. Definitely things heating up on both brands. What does Daniel Bryan have to say for us now following his victory? As I said, he definitely has his eyes on the big red belt. Lesnar received a lot of flack for not appearing on shows, not appearing at pay-per-views. Daniel Bryan wants to be that fighting champion. Lesnar wasn't. Speaking of champions, the former WWE champion, of course, did not lose his title, but rather it got vacated as he was drafted to Raw. He must not be happy with the fact that he's without his belt. But he is still feeling off this Monday Night Raw crowd. AJ on Raw with Daniel Bryan. This is going to be good. What's AJ have to say to the leader of the Yes Movement, the phenomenal one? He definitely has some words too. You've got to be sure that he's thinking he's somewhere near the top of the pecking order, considering he never lost his WWE Championship. The Universal title picture is definitely heating up on Monday Night Raw. AJ saying it'll be one hell of a match between himself and Daniel Bryan. You can't argue that, but as I said before, AJ definitely feels he's the most deserving Universal Champion. What does Daniel have to say about this? This isn't the house AJ Styles built. It's Monday Night Raw, and here they settle things in the ring. That's got to mean... I mean, I'm sure our general manager, whoever he or she is looking on and thinking that these two make a good point. Either one of them could make a great Universal Champion. We're meeting our new general manager shortly. As he said, probably at the end of the night, he or she will come out. And AJ and Daniel have put forward a proposition to the general manager. Next week, perhaps AJ versus Daniel to see who's more worthy of the Universal title. And a rising star here in Raw, Mojo Rawley, been drafted to Monday Night Raw. And who's SmackDown picking up next? SmackDown is going to walk with Elias. That is an exciting pickup for the blue brand. The tag team divisions. The first tag team division we're showing. The first tag team we're showing in the tag division for Raw is the Colognes. They've been away with injury, but they will be back. Or they're back now, it seems. And the Revival, one of the best tag teams in the world, being drafted over to the blue brand. And the Ascension are on Raw. I've spoken to the Ascension. They've said that they're not happy with their performances thus far in WWE, and they're looking to make changes going into the new year. And the New Day staying on SmackDown, former SmackDown Tag Team Champions. Well, no, yeah. And the AOP on Monday Night Raw from NXT. We're going to see, there's the Colognes. AOP for one of the first call-ups here from NXT. And here they come. These two men are absolute behemoths. So far, it looks like the SmackDown Tag Division. We don't know. The Usos have been our SmackDown Tag Team Champions since Raw. But, of course, the Bludgeon Brothers came in and laid waste at Fastlane.
And their opponent.
So we'll see if the Bludgeon Brothers will be staying on SmackDown. The Usos, the previous SmackDown Tag Team Champions, will be staying on SmackDown. All we know is that the Raw Tag Team Championship, the Raw Tag Team Division, just became incredibly destructive. If I were the Colognes right now, I would be wishing I was still on leave here, because looking at these two absolutely destructive forces, unknowns on the main roster, but they made one hell of an impact on NXT. Former NXT Tag Team Champions Akam and Rezar. The arena just gets a completely different atmosphere when these two men enter an arena, and I'm just so excited and apprehensive to see what they're going to be doing in this match with the Colognes. Akam, and I believe that's Epico in the ring there. And Akam just striking Primo to the ground. Showing off his strength is Akam. This man, these two men are absolute destructive machines in human form. Look at that! What a strike, what a grapple, what strength. Are the authors of pain. Never has a name been so apt to describe. And once again, Akam going for Epico. Absolutely anything to exert dominance here. And a big body strike there. And here comes Reza with a big body drop of his own. And a massive scoop slam. Everything these men do just hit with such force, such strikes, such weight to it, you know. Everything they do is just devastating. Akam back in the ring now. Oh, massive knee strikes to the gut of Primo. Big gut buster. This is actually difficult to watch, if I'm honest. This is difficult to watch. And a massive clothesline. Akam actually giving Epico, an opportunity there, and Primo runs right into a massive clothesline. And look at that side Russian leg sweep with absolute force. Tagged into Reza. Oh, here it comes. We've heard of this. Last chapter. And just like that, I don't see the Colognes coming back from this. 1, 2, 3. Absolute destruction. The NXT Tag Team division has got to be looking at these. Look at this. The match is over. The match is over. The AOP, the Authors of Pain, want to send a message on their debut in the Tag Team division here. The only other tag team we've seen thus far from Raw is the Ascension. And they definitely must be looking out at these absolute behemoths. But we're going to see another Smackdown draft here. Who's Smackdown picking up? Ooh, one member of the Miz Taraj moving over to Smackdown. Is that going to come into play? See the Miz is on Smackdown. Curtis Axel, former Intercontinental Champion. And Raw's picking up Bray Wyatt. Who's Smackdown picking up next? R-Truth has gone to SmackDown. Important to note, ladies and gentlemen, that these drafts, these are not in the order in which the general managers drafted them. Merely just in an order to show it's random, actually. And Jinder Mahal over to Raw. Previously, well, now he's lost his United States title. That championship is now vacated on SmackDown. He did win it at WrestleMania. Alicia Fox is moving to SmackDown, joining the already stacked women's division, the likes of Bayley, Charlotte Flair, Alexa Bliss. And speaking of women's division, we have Dana Brooke of Titus Worldwide on Raw. And it seems she's going to be showing us what she can do as a solo competitor here. We have seen before, but perhaps the rest of Titus Worldwide will be moving over to SmackDown. And we'll get to see what Dana Brooke can do as a solo competitor.
From Cleveland, Ohio, Dana Brooke.
As I said, these draft picks that you're seeing now are not the order in which the general managers made the draft, but in the order in which the general managers want to show you, the audience, their roster. Because if every draft pick, or the first few draft picks were shown in the early stage of Monday Night Raw, then SmackDown wouldn't have any big names to reveal. This is a draft reveal. This isn't the draft itself, if that makes any sense. But Dana Brooke definitely has all the talent, all the strength, all the athleticism to make it in the Raw Women's division. Maybe now that if Titus Worldwide does not make it to Raw, we could maybe see Dana flying, soaring, if you will, as a solo competitor here on Monday Night Raw. But we have another Smackdown Draft happening. Before we see who she's going to be taking on tonight, who's it going to be? The show-off is staying on SmackDown, Dolph Ziggler. What a massive draft to Monday Night Raw. Former NXT Women's Champion, the NXT call-up, the War Goddess, Ember Moon. This is a massive, massive pickup for Monday Night Raw. If you haven't seen what Ember Moon can do on NXT, you are in war for one hell of a treat. Incredible performer, the former NXT Women's Champion. Keep your eyes open. Keep your eyes fixed on Ember Moon as she wows you
And
with her ability in the
from
ring.
Dallas, Texas, Ember Moon.
Hopefully we'll be able to see her incredible finishing move here tonight, the Eclipse. Obviously I'm not betting against Dana Brooke. As I've said, great performer in her own right, but whew, the Eclipse is a thing of beauty. Both women's divisions really stacking up here. Raw with Nia Jax, the Raw Women's Champion. Ronda Rousey, definitely excited to see what she's going to bring to the table in her debut season here on Monday Night Raw. She did debut at WrestleMania, obviously, but she has yet to make her Raw performing debut, and perhaps that'll happen as Raw officially kicks off next week. But we have a great performance here. Oh, Dana Brooke showing a bit of fire here. Ember Moon showing us her fire. Massive forearm strike by the War Goddess and a big kick. Another forearm. And a big belly to back suplex by Ember Moon. Ember Moon showing off to the crowd a bit too much. Dana Brooke trying to get it from behind, but Ember Moon just a bit too quick. Getting a nice arm drag and a big Hurricane Rana there by Ember Moon. Of course, it's a big opportunity and a nice running knee strike. It's a big opportunity being able to perform on the WWE Draft both tonight and tomorrow night on SmackDown Live. It's essentially as much as some of these superstars have been on this draft before, and a nice sunset flip there by Ember Moon. Look at Ember Moon go. Dana Brooke has not really been able to get any momentum going in this match. Ember Moon getting a running start, and another set of running knees. As much as some of these superstars were already on Raw, it's basically a completely new roster. It seems new champions, new general manager, not new champions all around, but Ember Moon going to the outside now, and Dana Brooke's head just bouncing off that apron. What's Ember Moon got planned here? Back in the ring and a nice drop kick there by Ember Moon. But what I was saying was, it's essentially new drop, new everything. At least that's how it feels. And every superstar, especially the newer ones, want to make an impact before the season even begins next week at week 1. This, of course, being the WWE Draft. Being able to perform in the WWE Draft is a great opportunity to build momentum. You saw Seth Rollins with an excellent win going in. Definitely showing that why he is the Intercontinental Champion. What's Ember Moon going for here? Nice diving knees there. Ember Moon, really interesting offense. Very interesting offense here by Ember Moon. And of course, Daniel Bryan showing why he is the legendary Daniel Bryan with a nice win over Baron Corbin and a big Russian leg sweep by the War Goddess. What's Ember Moon got planned? Dana Brooke has not been able to get anything off, and a cartwheel or a front handspring into a forearm strike. What's Ember Moon got planned here? Dana Brooke looking dazed, trying to make it to her feet. Are we gonna see it? Are we gonna see it? The Eclipse! Take another look at this thing of beauty. pinpoint accuracy with the Eclipse. Hooks outside leg, very smart, not able to get a rope break there. 3. Ember Moon with an incredible performance here in her Monday Night Raw debut.
Here is your winner, Ember Moon.
I expect great things from the War Goddess on Monday Night Raw. You can be sure that both our new general manager, who we will be seeing shortly, and the Raw Women's Champion Nia Jax have to be watching and be both impressed, and they have to be looking out for things to come from Ember Moon. But we're going to see our our Monday Night Raw general manager. It's Chris Jericho. It's Chris Jericho. That is an interesting decision. Look at him. Chris Jericho, of course, a legend, both WCW and WWE, multi-time world champion, tag team champion, intercontinental champion, you name it. What an exciting turn of events. Our Raw general manager is Y2J, Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho is definitely gonna be one to look out for. Of course, we don't know who our SmackDown general manager is, but it's safe to say that Raw has made an excellent decision in their choice of general manager. But our general manager is going to want to come and address the WWE universe here. Let's see what Chris Jericho has to say. Yeah, as I've said, general manager just confirming we no longer have part-timer contracts, meaning Brock Lesnar is no longer signed. Big words from Chris Jericho. The draft's going to continue over on Smackdown Live. Thank you guys so much for watching. Chris Jericho putting on an excellent show here tonight with his